The Code of Hammurabi. Hammurabi's greatest legacy is the Code of Hammurabi, the most famous and best preserved legal collection surviving from ancient Mesopotamia. The laws were engraved on a large black diorite stele and erected in the center of the capital for all to see. In the prologue, Hammurabi claimed that he had received these laws from the god Marduk. Their purpose was to establish justice on earth, punish wrongdoers, and prevent the strong from oppressing the weak. This emphasized the sacred nature of royal authority and presented law as an instrument of divine will. For centuries, the Code of Hammurabi was regarded as the first legal system in history. Today, however, we know that older legal texts also existed. The code covered trade, agriculture, family relations, crimes, judicial procedures, property disputes. Unfortunately, the laws were not applied equally to everyone. Punishments varied according to the social status of both the offender and the victim. For example, while a free person might receive a fine for a particular offense, a slave could be executed for the same crime. The status of the victim was also crucial. Killing a slave was generally treated as a minor offense, whereas killing an awolum was considered a grave crime. A significant portion of the code followed the principle of an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, in disputes between people of equal status. At the same time, the legal system contained social protections. Widows, orphans, tenant farmers, debtors, and laborers received certain forms of legal protection. The Code of Hammurabi prioritized royal authority and social order. Through this legal system, Hammurabi laid the foundation of Babylon's stability, and he largely succeeded. The myth of temple prostitution. Temple prostitution is one of the ideas most commonly associated with Babylon. Even in antiquity, Babylon was often portrayed as a center of luxury and excess. The Greek historian Herodot claimed that every woman in Babylon was required at least once in her life to have relations with a foreign man in the temple of the goddess Ishtar. Later, biblical writers adopted this image and portrayed Babylon as a symbol of sin, lust, and moral corruption. These narratives contributed to the development of the Whore of Babylon tradition. However, the reality is far more complex. Archaeological evidence does not provide definitive proof that an organized system of temple prostitution existed in Babylon. Many modern researchers, archaeologists, and historians interpret the practice described by Herodotus either as an exaggeration or as a misunderstanding of local customs. Mesopotamian texts mention priestesses serving Ishtar, including women known as Kadishtu. These women may have played roles in fertility rituals. However, it is impossible to determine with certainty whether those rituals involved sexual activity. One interpretation suggests that sexuality in the worship of Ishtar and other goddesses was primarily symbolic and expressed through ceremonies, music, dance, or theatrical performances. Greek writers interpreted these traditions through the lens of their own society and often associated Eastern cultures with luxury and immorality. As a result, the concept of temple prostitution is today regarded largely as a myth. Nevertheless, the story became deeply rooted and contributed significantly to Babylon's reputation as a city of sin. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe.